It's so hot outside, so I'm not wearing makeup because it will melt off my face, so sorry about that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to cover a Jeffree Star video that I saw circling about the internet, all about a girl who had a really bad business deal with him. I'll be quite honest, I'm a bit sick of the Jeffree Star drama this year, but here we are. So if you are interested to see what I'm actually talking about, then make sure you keep on watching. So I came across this video by Ashley Kyle on Twitter. I gave it a watch. It's quite interesting. The general gist of it is that this girl, Latricia, I think I've said that right, sorry if I haven't. So this girl, Letitia, claims that she had a business deal with Jeffree that went massively south. The general gist of her business is that she makes blinged out Jeffree Star mirrors. They are stunning. On May 9th, she tweeted out this image and said it was inspired by Betsy Ross, and she asked everyone to tweet at Jeffree so that he would see it, which he did, and he posted this tweet, which has since been deleted. Latricia then DM'd Jeffree basically to find out if he was being serious about his tweet and all of that stuff, and he said he was being serious about it. Jeffree started asking about prices for the mirror and, you know, what she would want in return, and he literally offered to either pay her or send her his new collection, which I think is so cheeky because he is a multi-millionaire. This particular mirror would have cost about $250. I personally don't think it would be much of a stretch for Jeffree to pay her and then give her some products as well as a thank you for providing such a beautiful product. He can afford it. I don't understand why he would offer it. I do appreciate as well that she did agree to just receiving product rather than money, and that's completely up to her what she would rather be paid in. Yeah, I personally think it was quite cheeky of him to even offer to just give her product instead of money. It was sort of like she had to choose between his new collection or money, and his collection, I don't think the whole collection values for $250, so she's out of pocket either way. So the whole initial conversation that Latricia had with Jeffree was a business agreement. Despite there being absolutely no contract signed, both parties knew what was expected of them to keep up their end of the bargain, and I just think this could have been handled a lot more professionally, as Jeffree is a businessman at the end of the day. I just think he kind of went about this the wrong way, and because of that it's caused a lot of problems as well. And this girl should have also probably reacted in a bit of a different way. She should have asked for something a bit more firm. I don't know, see, if it was me, I'd have taken like a deposit, because $250 is a lot to lose out on. I know she asked for product over money, but I would have asked for some sort of deposit to make sure the transaction was going to go through and that both parties would keep up their end of the bargain. Either way though, this initial conversation, both parties seemed very satisfied with the outcome of what was expected of them. After that, Jeffree proceeded to just ignore her. No updates, no thank you. When he received his mirror, absolutely radio silence. This obviously must have been very frustrating for Latricia because she's put a lot of hard work into this mirror. She messaged him a couple of times trying to find out what was going on. She then saw on Twitter all of the PR going out to all the other influencers, and this rightly so frustrated her, causing her to message him again. So Jeffree eventually replied, and it was rude, to say the least. So this was his response. He had the nerve to call her like rude and everything else, but she wasn't. Like, she's just trying to find out what's happening with this business deal that has gone on. Like, why on earth has he not responded? Why has he not sent her product out? I mean, if he can send the PR out, then he can send hers out. I know she's not on the PR list, but the whole point of it was that she would have got the collection in return for the mirror. He's so unprofessional for a businessman, a multi-millionaire at that. He is so unprofessional. He went on really hard at her about her attitude and everything. I personally don't see anything wrong with the messages she sent. I mean, I get it could have been a bit annoying for Jeffree. It's right before a launch and he's got a lot to think about, but this is just a concerned businesswoman wanting to make sure she was actually going to get paid for her hard work. But yeah, Jeffree, I'm a millionaire and everyone else doesn't deserve to breathe my air, Star thought it was acceptable to send her this response, and I'm just not here for it at all. After that whole conversation, Jeffree said he would basically pay her for the mirror because she was being impatient. That's what he implied in his messages. I'm just quote speaking, basically saying he'd rather pay her because she was being impatient. But if he's sending out all of the PR, why can he not just put together one more package for this woman who has gone out of her way to make a beautiful mirror for him? So even after Jeffree was being exceptionally rude to her, she still tried to end the conversation really politely. So after he said he would pay her rather than send her the collection, she just ended it with okay, thanks, which, you know, she's trying to leave it. Obviously this comes across as a woman trying to just leave the situation, but Jeffree Star just can't leave it alone, can he? You know, he's always got to like just go, because again, he is an entitled skeleton. Jeffree then mentioned this tweet and he said it was really disrespectful, but once again, all I see is a stressed out woman who is wondering when she's going to get paid, and I think that is the key thing in this whole situation, is that she's just looking to get paid, and Jeffree, multimillionaire star, is just being really difficult about it. He can't ever leave things alone. He's just got to dig himself an even deeper hole, and I really wonder how people can still stand this man when he's rude, entitled, he's got a disgusting past, and you can say he's moved on from it all you want, but lipstick Nazi, has anyone talked about that yet? I'm digging, I'm looking into it, don't worry guys. The main issue seems to be there was absolutely no communication between either the Jeffree Star cosmetic teams and this girl and Jeffree himself, who actually started the conversation. He had the nerve to say she has nasty energy, and it just confuses me so much, because if anyone has nasty energy, it's Jeffree, because he insists on just tearing people apart to make himself feel better. Whether that's competition in the makeup industry, people like this woman who are just trying to find out what's going on, even fans who he thinks has an entitled and rude attitude, he will clap back at and be seriously rude to her. It confuses me how he can say this girl has nasty energy when he just needs to look in the mirror and see that he is the only nasty energy in this whole situation. So this whole exchange actually just came from Latricia's conversation with another Jeffree Star cosmetic employee, who was asking if she can basically bulk order a lot of the mirrors, and because of that, Jeffree kept hitting at her, being like, your mirror will be there Tuesday, and then he was putting like kissy face emojis, like, you're a 30-something-year-old man, just grow up a little bit. There's no need for this kind of petty behaviour. All of the messages, when I was reading them, I was like, just shut up, you clown, like, you look like an idiot. Anyway, so onto what the employee was messaging Latricia. Latricia had to explain that she is a one-woman business, basically, that she paints all the mirrors, she then hand puts the rhinestones on. That was really bad English, wasn't it? Hand puts. She places the rhinestones on there herself, like she doesn't have a machine or anything that does it for her. She was still very open and willing to talk about how many they would need, as well as giving them how much it would cost per mirror, so they had an idea of, you know, what they were getting themselves into. And the whole exchange between Latricia and this employee seemed very polite, but Latricia did actually block her once the conversation was over. Like, once that whole exchange was over, she blocked her. And I do understand why, like, when she's had this altercation with Jeffree Star and then an employee's messaging her about a similar thing, I would be a bit wary. Like, you don't know if they're being serious or if it's like a mocking thing. Jeffree comes across as very childish and immature, so I do think, I personally would believe that this was another like chance for Jeffree to lash out. I do understand why she blocked her, but I don't think the employee's tone or attitude was the reason that she did it. I think it was other things. Have I explained that really poorly? Probably. The employee came back to her and said that the amount of mirrors she'd be able to make by July 4th just wasn't enough, but they would consider her for future projects. During that conversation with the employee, Latricia also inquired about the collection that she was supposed to receive from Jeffree, and she didn't get any answers. Again, I do understand why the employee wouldn't reply or give any information about that, because she probably didn't know, and I don't actually think it was appropriate for Latricia to contact her. She should have kept trying to contact Jeffree or Jeffree's assistant and to find out what was going on with her collection rather than this employee. So yeah, that brings us back to why Jeffree flipped off and kept being like, your mirror will be here Tuesday. Tracked. Like, just shut up. Overall, I completely get why this girl was very frustrated, why she was tweeting out what she tweeted out, and to be blatantly ghosted by a multi-millionaire business owner who has disposable income. Like, $250 is nothing. One spare palette is nothing when you've got thousands of units. I'm a bit confused about this employee as well. If Jeffree seriously did want to work with her on a long-term basis, why did his team not reach out to her rather than one employee? I think it should have been put in a proper email rather than through DMs on Twitter. I'm getting so sick of this pattern of behaviour of Jeffree being so rude and entitled to the people that genuinely do support him. This girl said on so many occasions that she's a huge fan. She's bought so many of Jeffree's collections. She's constantly buying mirrors. Obviously, it's part of business, and the way he spoke to her is just disgusting, and this is a constant pattern with Jeffree. He does this all the time. Like, this isn't a one-off, and I think people need to start waking up to just what kind of person he is. I've noticed as well, like, he constantly calls people names when he's having these conversations with them, or calling them out on behaviour he doesn't agree with, and it just comes across as bullying. Like, he has to put people down, he has to make people feel little about themselves so they don't argue back with him, and I just don't agree with that behaviour at all. I think he really needs to wake up and just start acting like a decent human being. Okay, rant for the day over. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and comment down below, what is your opinion on this situation? Do you think Latricia should have handled it in a more professional way on her end? I think everyone agrees Jeffree should have been a bit more professional. Let me know down below. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!